This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, everyone. So today I'll be only the hosting the meeting. Prerna ji may not join, and let's get started. I'm not sure whether Nirupma will join or not, but still, what I'm going to do is that let me uh, drop a final message for two people. All right, and we'll see if they can join. All right. So this is very very important that we start our discussion along with the code of honor. Why code of honor? Code of honor is a yardstick. Code of honor is a reminder, and even I had to do it n number of times in one day. I'm happy to do that because that not only reminds you but also reminds me on my path of progress. Okay, so this is very very important to remember it, to follow it. So let's get started with it. That you are showing up on time, this is really great, and that's the very first code of honor. So let me expand that. Yeah, showing up live, and that too on time, and being punctual, and demonstrating your commitment, that you are highly committed. Why we need to do that? Because it is said that how you do anything is how you do everything, and that's what we are believing you to do it once you join in the IT and corporate of America. Second one is the being full stack student. So doing all the assignment, doing self research, and repeat whatever you have learned. So when you will do that, you will not only limit yourself with whatever has been delivered, but you may explore something which has not been delivered yet. So the reason being that just within few days we cannot give you everything. We will give you the context, we will make you to prepare for whatever you have joined over here, so that you become the placement ready. However, it is recommended for each one of you to also continue to do your self research, and repeat and expand whatever you have learned. So remember that. The third one is that taking the full responsibility of success by doing whatever assignment has been given to you. And also, when you don't do it, so remember that even it will take a turn towards the failure, and you will take the responsibility. There is a chances of correction of doing it, and ultimately making this failure a trail of success. You will attract the success. The fourth one is very important about the mindset, and this is very very and very important to have learning mindset, positive mindset, and complaint free mindset, and load yourself with the gratitude. But for that, you need to start your day with increased receptivity, and that comes through strangest secret of the world that I have shared with you already in the form of audio, and request each one of you to don't drop it even a day. This gives you a plan for 30 days. You must follow it. If you are not following it, then due to some reason, if you miss on a day, you need to restart for next 30 days. I personally do that every single day. So and this is recommended, this is advised by Earl Nightingale himself, that it has, this record has to be heard thrice in a day. But even if you could do it once in a day is really great. This is a 30 to 40 minutes long. If you see, if you think that it is taking your time, what you can do is that add this with the other activity, like you starting your day with the gymming, and then you are putting a headphone and listening to your it. You can listen to it, the recording which I shared with you, in 2x mode. So instead of 40 minutes or 30 minutes, it will just take your 15 minutes and 20 minutes. So this is how you are going to save your time. So guys, remember to start listening to it. I know that how many of you listening, how many of you not. So that reflects through your video as well. So yeah, give me a second. Yeah. So what is this? Declare, learn, draw, and summarize. This is called as golden quadrant of learning, where you need to start your learning with the declaration. And once you learn that, I would recommend that day itself, if you could find time to draw, that is really makes the memory retention longer, and then summarize it will make the memory retention longest. Okay, so follow this golden quadrant of learning. That will be really helpful. And because we are talking about it, so let's start our learning with the declaration. At the count of 3, we will set an anchor by giving a self high five and repeat the highlighted words. So are we ready for this?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, and clap.
I'm a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
I'm a
What
quick
others
learner.
can learn and
What
master,
others can learn, master, I
I
too
too
can
can
do
do
that.
that. All right. Once again, a mini clap, and then repeat this sentence along with me. 1, 2, 3, and mini clap. Because I'm an awesome
Because I'm
learner,
an awesome learner,
today's learning is going to be super
duper
duper
easy
easy to me. Yes, of course it is going to be. And the sixth one is that being a giver, and on the path of learning, you need to keep your ego aside. Even though if you know something and something new is coming, be ready to take them up, and that makes you spiritually grounded, because you get into also receptive mode. And when you set an intent, if you in case are not earning and just waiting to get placed, set an intent to start doing a charity. And wherever you believe in any cause, start giving away 5 or 10% of your earning, because we need to increase our earning as well. And it is said that when you give, you grow, and when you receive, you may survive. And we are not here to survive, so we are here to grow. And don't just give away to grow, but also give away to inspire. And in case you are thinking that you are already earning, making some money, then also I would encourage each one of you to start giving away at least 5%, 10%. If you are earning weekly, then you must do it on weekly basis, and then appreciate whatever you are doing, what others do for you. And even something does not happen to you, because every single step is the preparation for the next step, and what you appreciate appreciates you. So let me move to towards a deeper dive of the learning, because we have done the declaration. And last time what we have seen scrum planning, planning team, scrum sprints, and scrum testing. And today we are going to get into the detail of sprint review with the high quality, definition of done, and product backlog management. Let me ask you, how many of you remember last time we were talking about definition of done? Who remembers it? I'm not going to ask you the question, but I'm just willing to know whether you remember I had talked about it. So
Yes.
okay, thank you so much, Nadeem, for remembering this. And
What was it? What was it?
definition of done. Do you remember that?
Oh, I did not hear what Nadeem said.
Okay, he said yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So definition of done we had heard. Let me ask you another question. Okay, what is stand up? Who can tell?
Stand up is a daily scrum meeting which lasts less than 15 minutes,
Okay,
where all the stakeholders and developers would meet to discuss the progress
okay.
and their plan and any
Right.
obstacles that they're facing.
Thank you, Nadim. And Nadim, it was Nadim talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So Archita and Suchana, because you are unmuted, do you think the answer was right?
The Scrum, like that, it is Delhi Scrum, I know, but it is not with the stakeholders. It is with the team who is developing the things.
All right. Can you name the team
Like
team
the
members?
product owner,
Mhm.
Scrum Master, and the production, like the development team.
Yeah. So production team may also have this daily stand-up. So Archita, can you just add something? What is daily scrum, whatever Nadeem and Suchana has spoken, any correction into that?
Yes, it's a daily scrum. It's that meeting, every day 15 minutes meeting, and it's facilitated by Scrum Master,
Okay.
and it's between development team, Scrum
Mhm.
Master, and product owner.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Everyone was good. So the intent to ask over here was that you always remember that daily stand-up meeting and scrum meeting, daily scrum meeting is the same. Okay. So few people call it as daily scrum, few people call it as a daily stand-up that goes for 10 to 15 minutes. Product owner is optional. So he may join or he may not join. So is it clear for you,
Right.
Suchana and Archita?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
The
awesome.
product owner does not have to be there, right?
Yeah, not necessarily. So in the
Awesome.
daily scrum. So, but yeah, in other meetings he must. So in the daily
Yes.
scrum he should not. So he means optional. He may or he may not.
So
So,
So
who will
daily
be
scrum,
who are
like
who are will be in the daily scrum?
okay. So who is asking? Suchana, you are asking?
Yes.
Okay, Suchana. So in the daily scrum, of course, as Archita said, it's a development team consists of, it could be business analyst, it could be testers, coder.
Coder.
So yeah, architect. These people will be there. Every one of the team member will be there, and Scrum Master will be there to facilitate. Not necessarily that customer will join. So customer and other stakeholders are not necessarily be there, but the team members. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So let's get into the details. We have to cover a lot and we get going. So today we will be looking at the sprint review because we have seen the sprint planning. Let's understand how does it go, the sprint review. Okay, you can see that the intent is the feedback of the product you have developed. Here is the word you see, the demo. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the product. And this is the Scrum Master who is there to facilitate. And there are many people to give the feedback on product. Okay. So this is the team, your team who will work. So a sprint review meeting should be a natural result, okay, of the sprint involving the product owner, the Scrum team, the Scrum Master, management, customers, and developers from other projects. Okay. So this
Can you
meeting,
please repeat that? Can you? I
okay,
couldn't hear.
yeah, I'm just explaining. So this meeting, sprint review meeting, everyone has to be there. Okay. In sprint review is a kind of a demo. You will find that product owner will be there, Scrum team will be there, Scrum Master will be there, sometime management members will be there, customer has to be there, and developers from others project can also be the part of that. But developers from other project not necessarily will be there. Okay, they can be, but management has to be there, Scrum Master has to be there, Scrum team has to be there, product owner has to be there, and the entire Scrum team. So this is what I just now repeated. Okay, so is it clear who all will be there in the Scrum in the sprint review meeting?
Yes.
All right. So by the way, let me ask you this question: how do you imagine yourself to be in once you get placed? So Benson, what do you think you will be? Business analyst or Scrum team member or who? Scrum Master.
I eventually want to be a Scrum Master, but I'll start off wherever I start off. But eventually, like, want to grow into being a Scrum Master. Actually, after going through my notes today and reading and doing the videos, I thought like that's what my goal should be to start off with.
Awesome, Benson. And what about you, Archita? How do you see at yourself?
In Scrum Master team.
Scrum Master. All right.
Yes.
And what about you, Nadeem?
Well, I like to get in and then grow as it goes, and get the max I can.
Awesome. Awesome. How about you, Mike?
Be a Scrum Master.
Be a Scrum Master. And you, Suchana? How do you see at yourself?
Yes. I want to be a Scrum Master, but I want to know how a business analyst do the work, because now I don't have any idea what they are doing really. So after
How
knowing that,
honest.
then, because now I know what are Scrum Masters are doing, but I don't know what are those like business analyst
Great,
what
great,
they're doing.
Suchana. Thank you so much for being honest and sharing this. Yes,
Gaurav, I got a question.
yes, yes. Please ask.
So, in like a Scrum Master role, Scrum Master need to like any technical knowledge also,
Okay, I'll
or
answer it in a
just like
moment.
facilitate them that meetings and communicate between like teams.
Okay, Archita, will come to that. So yeah,
Okay.
Suchana, the thing is that yes, very good point. So in a week or two, we will be transitioning towards the business analyst, and every one of you will get to know about the business analyst. So that's number one. So definitely you will come to know business analyst responsibility. In fact, every one of you, and that will be the best time to decide whether you want to take a turn towards being the business analyst or being the Scrum Master. And Archita, your question was towards, can you repeat that again, please? Archita.
Yeah, my question is that Scrum Master need to like
All right.
technical knowledge also.
Yes. So not necessarily technical knowledge, but yeah, logical knowledge he must have. And second, in the process, like I talked about, various tools like Jira. So Jira,
Yes.
it's easy. You can explore that. You can watch some videos like searching in YouTube, learn Jira in 10 minutes, and various stuff you will learn about Jira, that how you will create a ticket and all.
I already exploring
Brilliant.
Jira.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would suggest each one of you explore Jira, Monday.com, and Trello. So these are really warm tools, hot tools today for Scrum and Agile world. Yes, yes, Mike, you have question?
Oh, yeah. The last slide,
Mhm.
you showed there was a, it said Scrum team and developers. That so I was just a little confused here, involving the product owner, the Scrum team, the Scrum master, management, customers, and developers.
Developers
So
from
are
other
the
projects.
developers part of the Scrum team?
No, no. Developers from other projects. Okay.
Oh,
So,
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
All right.
That
So,
explains it.
but this developers from others project may join, may not join. That's not
Okay, okay.
necessary.
Oh, from
Okay.
other projects.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. So let's move on. And thank you so much for everyone's answer. So what exactly happens? What should be the agenda for a sprint review? So Scrum Master can take a note of it. So we have to make sure that development team talks about the sprint. So what you have developed well, so that will become the what went well. And when you are presenting this, you have to talk about the problem that arose in between and how you have solved it. Okay. Say, for example, you were not able to integrate two tools together or two communication together between two channels or two APIs. Okay. So that the proper, say, for example, sometimes what happens, like you are doing, booking a ticket for your flight, right? And you are typing New Delhi. So in drop down, you find the moment you start typing N and then further progressing word, it start giving you some suggestions. Okay. So those suggestions are fetched from some API tools. So have you experienced such thing when you are typing and you find some suggestion in the drop down, and the same thing happens even in Google?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these suggestions are fetched nowadays from APIs. Earlier, it used to fetch directly from the database, but now API is the interface. API is the interface. It behaves as a middleware layer between two different applications. Okay. So yeah, it may possible that development may say that APIs was not responding because it was not connecting between those two different applications to bring the response too quickly. So it was quite slow. We managed to work towards it, and we made sure that it is working fine. So and it gives the response in very minute effort, with very minute effort, and brings the result in the nanoseconds, something like that. So, and then the team, what they do, so they demonstrate the completed work. Okay. And whatever the sprint product backlog items would be there, they would talk about that. And at the end, they answer some questions which will come from the stakeholders or vendors or customers. Okay. And here is the key role of product owner would be there. Product owner becomes the part of the sprint review team when the current snapshot. Okay, my audio might have gone for a moment, so
Yeah.
now is it back?
It's back now.
Yes.
Thanks. So product owner, he discussed the current snapshot of product backlog and roadmap. So what happens the moment, say for example, from the 11 backlog items, you have demonstrated around 3 backlog items. So for 8 backlog items, product owner will give the roadmap, and he will discuss that how we are planning in coming sprint to give you the demonstration for these product backlog items. And he will also talk about the project likely completion date with various completion rate or velocity and the assumption. Say for example, you have customer has given you the approval of the budget of only 2 people in the development team, and you see that the velocity requires that at least 3 developer and 2 tester. So you may bring that into the discussion that
Lost the voice.
Can't hear.
right. So I'm going to repeat somehow. Just give me a second. Once again, the voice will go.
Okay.
So I'm assuming now it should not go. So can you hear me now again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Product.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So I was talking that product owner will give the anticipation that when the project is going to be completed to the client, because with the rate of the speed, the way we are completing as a team with the same rate, if we continue to do so, how many product backlog item we can achieve in the decided time or defined time. So that we have to keep on talking about, and that defines the status of the project, whether it is on track or is not on track. So product owners, take a note of it, that this is how you are going to demonstrate also your own progress, okay, in the sprint review meeting. So what happened further in this agenda? So development team talks about the sprint, that how they have delivered or how they have prepared on what prioritized task customer is seeking to work. Okay. The reviewing the goal for the sprint, they will again review the goal for the sprint. Say for example, they developed 2 modules. One is cash withdrawal module and cash deposit module, both for a banking application. And they would say that the goal to achieve this, that at least the transaction will get started for the bank for their own customers. And that's the reason we came up with the speed of developing and delivering these 2 modules. The third one becomes in this list, in the next one becomes demonstrating new features implemented during the sprint. So when they will talk about this is what we wanted to deliver, and they will say that along with this, while doing this, we also developed one tiny feature, and that tiny feature is about checking the balance. So balance check functionality has been built up, and it is also being delivered along with these 2 features, because these 2 features were the goal, and we could accommodate the third feature as well. So you can talk about it if you have done so. Then Now they will ask the feedback from the stakeholders. Customer will say, well, I wanted to, see the check balance, and I was anticipating that adding the new customer, even this could be done. So you will take a note of it, and even the Scrum Master and product owner will take a note of it. Later, Scrum Master and product owner can talk that whether they are planning in the next sprint planning meeting to talk about this feature and pull it into the sprint backlog item. So I hope you are able to imagine how the communication may go after this feedback. Yeah, everyone with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So now discussing work not yet accomplished. So there would be some features what you would have not completed. Say for example, that even though you have delivered the customer, the cash deposit feature, but it has got some bugs. Okay, so you would say that few things are there which is still open, like the person when he deposit money with the denomination of 10 cents. Okay, so that doesn't go. But apart from 10 cents, even though he or she deposits any amount, that will be accepted by the system, and we are working on this, and mostly in the next sprint we will accommodate this defect. So this much openness you can show up. Okay, this much openness you can definitely definitely demonstrate. Okay, that there is one bug with the feature which we are delivering. Are you with me so far?
Mhm.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes, any question over here?
yeah, I have a question. This sprint review
Mhm.
will be done in daily scrum or in the ceremony, like the weekly ceremony?
Okay, so as I told you, there are 4 ceremonies. Okay, one is sprint planning, once done. Okay, once done before the start of the sprint, where you define the prioritized work to be done during the complete sprint of 7 days or 30 days. Okay, so sprint planning is done once. When we talk about daily scrum, as the name suggests, this is the ceremony which will happen daily. Okay, the moment daily you are playing, and at one point of time you understand that yes, with our daily effort, now the work is done. And in daily scrum, every single day we always answered 3 things: what we did, what we are going to do daily, and what is the bottleneck we are experiencing, any problem we are experiencing. Because for regular 7 days we spoke about it, today we are in a situation that we can deliver this product. But before delivering this product, this is the 5th day or 6th day, or second last day or third last day, we are ready to give demonstration to whom? To the customer and stakeholder. So sprint review will also happen once your product is ready to be delivered. And then comes the another ceremony which is called as retrospective. Even that happens once. So all these sprint planning, sprint review, and sprint retrospective happens once. Daily scrum is, as the name suggests, will happen every day. Is it
Now,
clear?
Yes.
the sprint review would be at the end of the sprint or end of the project?
Towards end of the sprint. Okay,
Towards the end of the sprint.
because the name suggests it's a
Yes.
sprint review. We are going to review the sprint. Okay,
The sprint.
so every single module, small module, because you are giving to customer is at receiving end, he wants to check it, that how it is functioning. And it won't be feasible for customer to check 1 to 100 backlog items at the end of the project, right? So because we are working in a fashion to deliver it in the small chunks, and that's when the sprint is a part of that chunk. And when we are talking about sprint review, those chunks will be checked in the towards the end of the sprint,
The sprint.
but not exactly at the end of the sprint. All right, so
Right.
I think even Mehul, you have some question.
Yeah, I just so that means the sprint review takes place before the product is delivered, and sprint retrospective takes place after the product is delivered.
Spot on. That's bang on. So everyone, please take a note of it. What Mehul has said is right. Yes. Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
let's continue. Yeah. So, excuse me. Yeah. So discussing work not yet accomplished, even that will be discussed in the sprint review. Identifying risk and impediments. So they will also talk, even the customer may talk that if we are not working on this, we may miss on this to test it at our end, that customer may say, or Scrum team or project owner or Scrum master may say that in case we are not giving priority to XYZ work because we want it to happen at the end, we might miss out on integrating this feature in time. Okay, so let me give you example. If we are talking about customer is just behind cash deposit and cash withdrawal, and you are insisting, even though we are giving cash deposit, cash transfer, we should also do TPT. TPT is third party transfer. And customer says that no, just you enable that TPT towards the end of the complete project backlog item. I want this happen to in the month of September. Say, for example, you are right now in Jan, and this is a 10 months long project, because that's what the estimation we have given. And one sprint is equal to 1 month. Say, for example, means 30 days, we will be working in a one sprint. And there are total 10 sprint. So you try to now again convince as a product owner that, hey, TPT becomes very, very important. We need to test the various type of online transaction that requires to be tested. If we will be doing it in the 10th month, we will not have the sufficient time to test. Even customer as you will not have sufficient time to test. So that is the risk flag I want to raise. So that is the moment when customer may take action and relook at their plan. Are you with me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Awesome. So apart from this, what is going to happen? Reviewing project increment and objectives. So while we are about to deliver that, we will see that how increment is going on. We will review that, and we will also see the final objective of the project is met or not. Okay. And then based on that, we will define our next sprint, that what all things we may accommodate. In case customer agrees, okay, fine, if that is the risk, let's try to deliver this TPT things at least with NEFT. I'm not sure how whether it is there in the USA or not. Let's try to do ACH transfer or IMPS transfer or RTGS inside. Enable it in your in the next sprint itself, and accordingly you can bring it in the priority in the your sprint backlog meeting. So this is all entire things will go into the discussion of sprint review meeting. So are we clear with the sprint review, what all can be discussed? Suchana, Aarti, Benson, Mehul, and
Yes.
Nadim. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's move more detail towards the sprint review. So meeting at the end of the sprint to the check the increment. So as Mike has said that it is between before the sprint is delivered, and even the retrospective will happen. Okay, the sprint review has to be done. Okay, and just before the incrementing, just before handing over the product or the piece of the product, we meet and we showcase what we have developed. Here you see the increment. Say, for example, from 10 product backlog items, 3 has been prioritized in the sprint planning. Okay, so sprint review meeting will go for 2 to 4 hours. Okay, in case this is a 1 month long project, means the 4 weeks long project, 4 weeks long sprint, in fact. Okay, then that meeting will go up to 4 hours. Okay, and whatever are ready to be delivered, we will mark them as a done. Like yesterday you saw in Jira, things were marked as to do, in progress, and what, and pass or fail or done. Okay, so this is, so things will be marked as a done. So while marking as a done, two things happen. Once you check user story, where it is defined as a person, say for example, who all can withdraw the cash. Banker himself can withdraw the cash. Okay, customer himself can withdraw cash. Tailor also can withdraw cash. Okay. So even these many people can withdraw the cash, even these many people can deposit the cash as well. So it doesn't mean that if all can withdraw the cash or deposit the cash, all the testing will happen together. So you will create a user story as a business analyst in the Jira or in any tool, and you will mention in a fashion that as a banker or as a cashier, I want to also withdraw the cash so that I can have the authority to manage customers' account even in the own bank. That is one user story, one requirement of the bigger requirement. I'm breaking it down. Are we following?
Yes.
The second requirement could be, as a customer, I want to withdraw my own cash from my own bank so that I can um, I can have the control of my own account. Okay. Now, this is the second scenario, second user story, and the third user story will happen like as a um, tailor. As a tailor, I can withdraw the cash so that even I have the check authority on the customer's account, on our customer account. This is on the fly. I gave you one requirement, how it has been broken down into 3 different user story, but every single user story will have the acceptance criteria. Okay, the acceptance criteria will be that user story number 1 about the cashier has been tested. Okay, first the module has got the documentation done by the BA. Then done will be marked again that then it has been coded by the developer, then done again against that will be marked. So again, these all things which I am talking will be the tickets. Okay, and whatever I am talking will be the checklist, will be mentioned against the user story. Okay, so user story will have the body, one which will be called as a user story format. Second will be the objective, what do you want to achieve, and third will be acceptance criteria against which the things can be marked as done. Again, this acceptance criteria can be written in the comment, not necessary in the body as well. Are you following so far? No?
Yes.
Okay. Let me do that something for you. Let me reshare the screen to make sure that the entire screen is available to be presented to you. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to open a Word file. Okay. Okay, it has not been opened yet. Let me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just giving you the high level of example that how does this may come. You can see the Microsoft Word opened.
Yes.
Yeah. So it may happen that user story number 211 in the Jira, just for example. Okay, it will follow with the project ID as well. Project ID is PBS, something like that. Okay, and the user story will define what you want to achieve. So cash withdrawal feature, say for example, cash withdrawal feature. Okay, now objective it will define user can withdraw the cash. So now this will be the first user story. Okay, so say for example, this is the first requirement which I'm trying to break it down further. Okay, so it has got 0.1. Okay, the first thing which I'm trying to build. So as a customer, so this is the format. As a user, I want to, what you want to, so action you have to define. Okay, I want to withdraw the cash. Okay, action you have defined, so that your objective, so that I can have the cash from my bank account. Okay, bank account. Now this cash withdrawal feature, it has got a various activity to do. All right, so say for example, let me insert some activity. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm trying to look for the cursive braces. If you can see it somewhere, let me know.
Cursive braces, this one.
I'm trying to find it. So in case I couldn't. All right, it is not there, I guess. Yeah, here it is. So this is the cursive braces. Okay. So this is the cursive braces, and it has got the various. Again, I'll insert 3. Excuse me. 1. So I'm going to, objective is clear, who can do what, and what I'm going to do is this. I'm just for your ease purpose, I'm doing this all activity. Otherwise, it is not required for understand it. Okay.
I don't know how you brought the lines there.
Okay, so these are the features available in the Microsoft Word, and you should be knowing it as a business analyst, because business analyst will play mostly in the Microsoft Word and Excel and all. Okay, so these are the one thing. Now I'm going to insert some words. So what I'll create a ticket as well. Okay, so in that ticket, I'm going to now I have to insert text box. So I'm just looking for the text box. If I can, give me a second. I can bring over here. By the way, everyone is with me so far?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is the text box I'm trying to bring. So machine is trying to respond little slow, but that's fine. It can be the fast again. So say, for example, this is one of the objective. So I have this one, and here I'm going to write 2-3 different things. Okay. So one is, say, for example, this one. The user story has been coded. So this is what user story has been coded. It has been done, but also acceptance criteria could be that given the user is who? User is cashier, okay, or user is account holder,
Right.
okay. User is account holder. When withdraws the cash, cash then can get his money out from dispensing machine, say for example, okay. Excuse me. So this is another format. Like here you see the acceptance criteria is as a customer. I'm just pulling it over here for your information. So for any user story will have the acceptance criteria will be commented. So you will find in Jira, there is always a comment box. How many of you have used Facebook?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
I have.
So in Facebook, you write a post and below that post, there is a comment box where you can add some comment, right?
Yeah.
In the similar manner in Jira, you will write a user story and below that you can, in the comment, can write the acceptance criteria like this. So that will go for every user story. Now, there will be a checklist for every single user story in the similar manner where it will talk about the user story number, this has been coded well. Okay. Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. Like this, in the comment itself, it will be mentioned user story number XYZ or whatever the above user story number is there. So this user story has been documented, number one, and there will be some action ID to this, okay, and that has been assigned to BA, okay. Action ID, say for example ACT 006, for example. Again, what I am doing over here, same thing I'll do in Jira, okay. So again, this user story, this has been coded, okay. Who will do that? Again, it has got the action ID 008, okay. US means user story has been designed, say for example. Who will do that? Again, this guy will do developer itself, okay. The CSS part, or not CSS is a technical term used for the coding, okay. When they design the mock-up design or something, or excuse me, they will do the drawing or something, okay. So ACT 011, and then say for example this is user story, this has been tested, okay, and user story, this is ready to deploy. So these are the tasks, okay. So what is going to happen now as a BA, the final activity is done, tickets will be assigned to you, okay. You will check whether tester has been tested it or not, okay. So given the this is the acceptance criteria, it has been met, you will mark it as a done, okay. Now you will go back over here and you will see that this ticket has, you will just make sure this ticket has been closed by developer. This ticket is closed by a coder, this ticket has been closed by coder, okay. You are marking them done, and this ticket has been closed by tester. So when you have marked them all done, it is ready to be deployed, okay. So what is happening as a marking, you are just checking every single ticket has been marked as done or not, okay. So done functionalities will be marked as done, okay. Then updated product backlog. Now, the moment you will mark it as a done, let me tell you, the bigger requirement, as you have quoted earlier in your smaller videos, that project goal is called as epic. Excuse me, I'm coughing, so just give me a second.
You want to get some water, Gauravji?
Yeah, just I'm grabbing it. What tip? All right. So I was telling that
I don't know if you're speaking, we cannot hear.
okay, no, I was actually sipping the water.
Oh,
thank you so
okay.
much. So yeah, let me reshare the screen. I think it has been reshared already. So yeah, so we have marked this as a done. Product backlog will be automatically updated, because I was talking that bigger goal is the part of an epic, not part of, it is called as project, bigger goal is called as epic, that will be further broken down into the smaller requirement, and that smaller requirement will be called as user story. That user story will be will be further broken down in the smaller pieces, and that will also be called as feature, sub features. um then further, when it is broken down, it becomes the task, subtask, activities. Okay, are we clear about this, how every bigger chunk will be broken down in the smaller pieces, the bigger requirement? Yeah.
Now the logical format for, let's say, the cash withdrawal
Mhm.
would be, like, first I would see the customer being identified, uh, and then see if he has the money in the account, what he's trying to withdraw, and then so when you go, these would go further divided into the smaller tasks and user stories.
Yeah, so say for example, let's focus on customer only. Okay, let's
Mhm,
not
mhm.
focus on this thing. So
Right.
see how we can go, like further cash withdrawal feature is the bigger requirement. Now it will be broken down in the smaller feature. Okay, uh, customer can withdraw the money for himself, that is number one. Tailor can withdraw the money and give it to the I'm just
That's true.
think yeah, tailor and cashier can withdraw the money and hand over to the customer. Okay, now
Mm.
let's focus on customer. Customer can withdraw the money from the bank. Customer can withdraw the money from the ATM. Customer
Mhm.
can withdraw the money from any dispensing machine. Customer can withdraw the money from the merchant who has got association with the bank. So
Okay.
now we have 4 ways for the same cash withdrawal for the customer to withdraw the money from the bank. Okay, directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
Are we clear so far? So we will
Yes.
work on the very first user story. Okay, the first was the epic, that was the cash withdrawal feature. Then user story became that user story one will became that cash withdrawal by the customer.
That's
Okay, user story 2 became that cash withdrawal done by Taylor
cashier.
in
Yeah.
the bank. Now
Mhm.
we will focus on user story 1, which is the cash withdrawal done by the customer, and we will break it down in the further task. Cash
Mhm.
withdrawal done by customer at ATM machine, that is task number 1. Task number 2, cash withdrawal by customer in the
In the
bank.
bank.
And the third activity will become the cash withdrawal done at the associated merchant,
Right.
merchant's place. So 3 ways. Now what I'll do, I'll write down the user story for every single activities. As a
Mhm.
customer, I should be able to withdraw the cash from the bank, so that I can get my cash. Okay.
Mhm.
That is one. Second, I can, as a customer, I should be able to withdraw the cash from the ATM machine so that I can get my cash. Okay.
Right.
Third, as a customer, I should be able to get withdraw the cash from the associated merchant so that I will have the control on my cash. Okay. So in this
Mhm.
way, now this feature we will literally do it and we will test it and we will see it in the work area. Okay. And we will, for the demo purpose, we will have such unit and such platforms available inside at our workplace where we can test it all. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So in fact, the offices or IT companies enable you, while testing this all, they will enable you with such platforms. Okay. Even if necessary, they can enable you with the cash dispensing machine. Okay. Even they will enable you with what? ATM swipe machine.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So everything, even they will also enable you with the dummy card for the testing purpose.
Mhm. Mhm.
So these all things will be given to you, so you don't have to be worry about that. And again, they will also there define in the sprint review meeting when is the next planning date. By the way, Suchana and Arshita, are you also following with me whatever I am speaking?
Yes.
Is it making some sense to all of you?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Thank you. So now, product owner, scrum master, and team plus others, everyone is there in the room and discussing about the sprint review, where I gave you and made you to visualize in the reality how things will happen in before coming into the sprint review meeting. Okay. The moment things will be marked as a done, then your product backlog will get updated, and that time the next sprint planning date will also be decided. Now I want someone to read this for me. So sprint review with best quality, who can read it? Archita, could you please read this for me?
Yes.
Yeah, please go.
Sprint review with the best quality. In Scrum, each sprint is required to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. This means that at the end of the each sprint, the team has produced a coded, tested, and usable piece of software.
Thank you so much,
During,
Archita. Yeah.
okay.
So here what we see that when we are talking about the best quality, it has to be tested well. So make sure that your Scrum team, whatever they have demoed upon, so that is high in the quality. And for that, even some documentation is there that this feature is working, that feature is working, or every user story has been marked as done and has gone defect free. That makes it with the best in the quality. Okay. So like it has said, that has produced a coded, tested, and usable piece of software. So every single thing has to be marked as done. Yes, Archita, you can continue with the next bullet.
During the sprint review, the project is assigned against the sprint goal determined during the sprint planning meeting.
Yeah, thank you. So during the sprint review, the project is assessed against the sprint goal determined during the sprint planning meeting. We are clear on this, that this is the time when the sprint planning date will be updated. So this is what it has been. Okay. Already. So we understand over here what the every sprint will have the goal. Okay. And to achieve that sprint goal, the next date has come. Date has to be announced during the sprint review meeting. So, Suchana, could you read the third one for me?
Ideally, the team has completed each product backlog item brought into the sprint, but it is more important that they achieve the overall goal of the sprint.
Mhm. So the thing is that sprint 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, whatever sprint number 2 or 3 is there. So make sure that whatever the product backlog is there, so that has been achieved as per plan. It should not happen like you have going in the halfway and trying to achieve it. Okay, it should not happen like a sprint 2 you have talked about and you have not completed whatever the identified backlog items are there. Okay, so make sure that whatever has been decided to be achieved has been completed. Okay, but it's more important that they achieve the overall goal of the sprint. So sprint goal has to be achieved by any means. So we must clear on this. That goal has to be achieved. If cash withdrawal feature is to be enabled, customer should be able to withdraw the cash, that we can demo it out. Okay, so Nadim, could you just read the first bullet for me, please?
Yes. Crossing the finish line and completing work requires good planning, a clear definition of done, and focused execution. This all is reflected in the sprint review.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So like I have presented in this document, okay, so here we are defining the definition of the done. Okay, this has been documented, this has been coded, this has been designed, and this has been tested. We will go into this the tested feature in the user story. We will see that every single acceptance criteria has been marked as done, 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 done. So this is how we are defining the done part of every single ticket. Are we clear so far? Yeah, good.
Now, there would be multiple dones for the sprint. For example, if the testing part is done, do the done there, and then if the developing part is done, and we do the done there. So the done would keep on moving with each phase of the sprint.
Yeah. So every single user story has to be marked as done. Like yesterday, I showed you the Kanban board. In the Kanban board, things were kept in to do, in progress, and also in completed stuff. So multiple tickets you will find that will be lying inside the done row, or sorry, done column. Yeah. So yes, you are right. Even for coding, it should be marked as done. Even for documentation, it should be marked as done. But coding, documentation, and designing, the moment they will mark it as done, then only they are graduated or they are given to testers, right?
Right.
So that tester can test it. So the very cool idea is that go to the tester's user story, look at them, that how the tester has tested it, and whether tester has marked their activities done, 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 done or not, or whether these things have been marked as passed, passed, passed or not. So if it has been marked as passed, passed, passed or done, 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 then based on the testing activity, the acceptance criteria can be marked as done, 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 done.
Right.
Everyone is clear with this question and the answer?
Yes.
Who is not
Yes.
clear? Anyone is not clear? Sujana, Archita, I want to hear from you.
It's, yeah,
Okay,
it's clear.
thank you. A culture of delivery. So Benson, could you please read this for me?
A culture of delivery. Effective teams bring clear processes and development culture to each and every work item.
Yeah. So it does not has to be just monotonous or boring thing. It has to be fun thing as well. We will look at it this, how does it define and develop the culture of this sprint review meeting? Okay. So, so who is remaining to read this? Okay. Mike, could you please read this for me, please?
Sure, the last one. Okay.
Last one. Yeah.
Following questions need to be asked and answered during the review. Are stories well defined by the product owner, designer, and the engineering team before implementation?
Yes. So this is the self-explanatory. The stories has to be well defined, then only it can meet the acceptance criteria. Yeah. So why this is asked then after the all things are done? Because based on these, story definition, even customer has to test the thing. So it doesn't mean that customer will take from you and he will just be assured enough that I can use it into the production in the live environment. He will also make sure that his team has tested it. Okay, and that's why you have to make sure that your user stories has been well defined. Well defined means as a actor, I want to act upon this so that my activity has to be achieved. Okay, so this is the format. So now let me go ahead with this. So does everyone understand and live the team's engineering values and culture? We are knowing the values and culture of Scrum values and Agile principles. We have to make sure we are always following that. The being the courageous, confident, and transparent is the key. Are there clear definition and requirement around code review, automated testing? But understand the code review will be done by technical architect can do that. So there are so you have to make sure as a business analyst that every single thing before coming to a sprint review has been marked as done. Okay, automation testing has been completed, continuous development to encourage sustainable and agile development. So every single ticket, whatever I'm speaking, ladies and gentlemen, so those are nothing but the tickets. Every ticket has to be marked as done. Then only we are able to ship it or increment it to the client. So this is done, and then after the team completes a user story or story, are there many bugs that surface? In other words, does done really mean done? It means every single feature has come up with the multiple defects. Sometimes in agile industry, what happens, people cannot deliver every single thing. Sometimes some critical bugs are lying on the surface. So what exactly happens? Team decides that, okay, we will make sure all the critical, major, and moderate defects has been closed, and then we are in a position to deliver it. In case any minor thing has come. So what we are going to do, so at the moment of fixing some defect, what happened, that due to some reason from the story, Y has been removed. Say for, I'm giving the example. Okay, so this becomes just minute thing. Okay, and we couldn't fix that. Just for example, if we could fix that, that's fine, but somehow we missed it. So what we will do, we will declare this to client. It has been done, but only the minute thing is remaining. We will fix that as well and give it to you, deliver it to you. Okay, so this is how it is. So we have to communicate that, okay, that what exactly done means, whether it is really done or not. So make sure done means that everything has to be marked as done, but as a product owner, you don't have to be rigid. Otherwise, what you will end up, you will end up postponing the things. Okay, so we don't have to postpone, we have to abide by the deadline, and we have to deliver that. The team's culture around quality and completion should rise above every user story, engineering work item, and bug. This culture is reflective of how the team approaches and delivers software. So this is how the culture has to evolve, culture has to be developed, that always you are keeping, if you are keeping everyone, if you are keeping this as your intent, as your objective, whatever I'm delivering has to be high in the quality. We are not going to compromise even one single defect to along with to deliver. But in the real time scenario, that rarely happens. But in case that happens, that gives you the confidence and the boost to your commitment that you deliver the high quality product. Okay, so remember, this is how you approach the increment of the product in the sprint review. And when the customer really agrees with this, that doesn't get boring. Okay, so It's just like a party. Now you celebrate the things. It doesn't mean that this will go monotonous. Customer may give you high five, you have done a good job. You can give a customer high five, hey, thank you so much for agreeing. So it has to be just a celebration mode completely. Actually understand what was the difference between demo and review. By the way, everyone is with me and following what I am telling, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Nadeem. And this Benson and Archita, Suchana, and everyone. Mike.
Yes, boss.
Excellent. So earlier, what used to happen, how the transition between demo and review happened. Earlier, they used to show the code completed. They used to focus on the user story, feedback aiming at working software, and meeting used to boring. Now, when it transitioned towards the review, they share bonus value delivered. Okay, sorry, business value delivered. So they talk about the value. It doesn't have to work to be delivered. It has the value to be delivered. Whatever I have delivered, whether that is bringing the or fulfilling the objective or not, whether the customer is really able to withdraw the cash or not. Focus on the context and goals. They talk about the context and the goal, why they are doing what they are doing. Okay, conversation on how value impacts the customer. They will also, customer will talk about their customer, how happy they will feel, and then they will celebrate, visualizing that something has been achieved. And finally, celebrate. An effective sprint review can be that place where the Scrum team and stakeholder come together for serious, powerful collaboration, but it is also a time to celebrate altogether the hard work the Scrum team has accomplished before they plunge into the next sprint. So this is the defining moment. This is the transitioning moment where we talk about when is the next sprint planning meeting, and before that transition we celebrate, we really meet and greet each other before departing in the very high energy. Okay, so delivering requires what? Energy. What is the keyword?
Living energy.
Energy. Yes. So very, you all are answering in very low energy, and that's why I happen to check with you all. Are you still awake, everyone?
Yes.
Mike,
yes.
Arshida, Nadeem, and Suchana.
Yes, we are awake.
Thank you so much.
We'll boost up our energy now.
Thank you. Excuse me. Okay, so we are achieving definition of done, and what does it take for the rocket to launch? Yeah, these are the very critical things. Why we are presenting, you will come to know about it. So what does it take for the rocket to launch? What does it take for the service engineer to call the customer for the delivery his or her vehicle? What does it take for a doctor to say the surgical is success? What does it take for the development team to put the product into production? And for these everything, there is only one answer. Who can answer that?
Done.
Okay, so that is the output. But what does it take for saying that it is done?
Release. I don't know.
Okay, try to think. Say, for example, you have given your vehicle to a garage for some servicing. Okay, you have told them that some extra work has to be done. Now you are going there to take the delivery of your car or whatever. So before he will give it to you, okay, in front of you, he does some activity. Based on that, he says that your car is delivery ready, and he marks it as done. What does he do? What do you think?
Sprint review. Sprint review.
Okay, sprint review will happen, but how he will check that? Means what will be there to see that sprint review has been done properly? Will he follow something?
He'll follow the list of things.
Yeah, Benson, come again. What you were trying to say? He will follow what?
He'll follow the list of things that were supposed to be fixed, and then review that with the customer.
Right. So can we also give some other name to that list?
The product
Sprint backlog.
backlog.
The sprint backlog?
Uh-huh. All right. Let me give you the answer. In a
Okay.
simple manner, you will see the checklist. Right?
Checklist.
So checklist is the key.
Yeah, check.
So you will mark them as a done, 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 done. Everything has been marked as a done. And once everything has been, checklist has been marked as done, 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 that becomes the releasable. So that's the key. That's when you release the software. So after sprint review, only the things will gets released. So remember, what are the three main components of definition of done? Like definition of done, definition of readiness is there. In definition of done, I have told you about the acceptance criteria. When it comes the definition of readiness, then you have to remember one thing which is called as user story. User story is the checklist for definition of readiness. However, acceptance criteria is the definition of done. Or checklist for the definition of done. So the three main components will be business or functional requirement should be workable, okay, and then quality, it meets the quality, and non-functional requirement it means. So non-functional requirement, it should not collapse like you are clicking on some button and it is not at all responding. It means it is not meeting even the non-functional requirement. Until unless it doesn't meet meet the non-functional requirement, you cannot check the functional requirement working or functional requirement means activation. Okay, for that it has to meet the non-functional requirement. Okay, so there is a more so we will also see checklist in the next, but because we have few moments, what I'm going to do is that quickly, just for you, I'm going to bring this. Okay, so let me bring that for you. Okay, so I have asked you this question. Yeah, so when, sorry, Nadim, you were saying something?
No.
Okay, so anything which is to be marked as done before delivering has to be agree amongst the engineering team, scrum master, and product owner. Engineering team means the development team means scrum team. All right. So
Yes.
even if things are being marked as done in front of the customer, everyone has to be in sync and in the agreement. What is that anything could be? The anything could be the user story has been marked as done. Code now before user story will be linked with the code deployment. So code deployment will be marked as done, and code deployment will be linked with release, and release will be marked as done. Release will be linked with the sprint, and the sprint will be marked as done. Okay, understand these are the father of each other. Okay, user story is the child, is the father of code deployment, is the father of sorry, user story is the child of code deployment, is the child of release, and release is the child of sprint. So this is how it is. Okay, the three main component you have seen so far. So what we are going to see more in detail about these, I'm not going to talk about this right now because it is going to take time. Here I have explained business of functional requirement, user story template. I was talking about as an actor, I want to act so that I can achieve some objective. So this has been the format of user story. Every single user story has to be written in the similar format. Okay. So what exactly happened in this conversation? User story has to make sure it has got the acceptance criteria, and that acceptance criteria is checking some business rule, some workflow. Mockup is nothing but a demonstrative image of some activity, or it could be the workflow, and it accepts the algorithm, and it also connects few logical movement of one action item to be completed. Okay, we will be looking at that in detail. Okay, how a user story or a acceptance criteria can be written. We will be looking at that. And when it comes to quality, please take a screenshot of it. Okay. So it defines the how the things will be accepted as a quality. Okay. So this could be the some checklist for testing against the quality, and how scrum.org talks about this DOD, that is the definition of done. We will be looking at it in detail, and then we will continue in the product backlog management. So for now, I'm leaving you over here with that. You are totally comfortable with the what all done means. Done means following simply the checklist. What is the word? Following what?
Checklist.
Checklist. Yeah. So you must remember that checklist has been met. Okay. And then only you are receiving your product, that is your vehicle. So how do you receive your vehicle after its service is done? Do you follow on the checklist whether all the given activity has been marked as done or not? Do you follow everyone? That?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Even you, Suchana and Archita? Yes.
Not for the vehicle, but yeah, other things.
Okay, sure. So thanks, but you can relate with this. Yeah. Sushana, you are there? Sushana.
Yes.
Okay, you were talking on mute, I guess. So, all right. So, Suchana, since last I spoke with you, I would like to ask you one thing that comes in your mind about today's learning. What do you feel like saying? All over done. Yeah.
Yeah. Checklist.
Checklist comes in your mind. Okay. Call out someone's name on the screen.
Benson.
Benson, what do you feel like saying about today's?
Yeah, definition of done.
Definition of done that comes in your mind. Okay. All right. So call out someone's name on the screen.
Mehul.
Mehul, what do you feel like saying about today's learning?
Well, we learned the agenda for the review, the sprint review.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mehul, for spot on. Yeah, Mehul, call out someone's name on the screen.
Left now, Nadeem.
Nadeem, what do you feel like saying about today's
Well,
learning?
it's, quality and energy.
Quality and energy. Awesome. You grabbed it. Thank you so much, Nadeem. Yeah, Nadeem, call out someone's name on the screen, please.
It's Suchna.
Suchana is done.
It's Archita.
Archita, what do you feel like saying?
Checklist and software delivery.
Checklist and software delivery. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Call out someone's name on the screen, whoever is left.
I think nobody's.
I think we're done.
No. I'm remaining. You can call out my name. You can call out. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes. So I only just want to say that whatever you are doing is going on really well. Now you have to work on two things. One, follow the exact quadrant, 4 quadrants of learning. The moment you are done with your learning, get into the drawing mode. Draw it. You feel like, oh, am I child? Yeah, become a child. Sometimes it becomes the fun. And they explain that to a child. Okay, summarize in that way, like how wonderfully when Suchana is doing, just in a minute or two, she is trying to summarize the thing. So you can come up with that, but showcase like Archita what you have drawn. Okay. And definitely explain the way Mike does, Benson does, and Nadeem does. Every one of you do that. Okay. And continue doing that in the gap of a day. Like today is the Sunday. So on Monday, definitely whatever you have learned today, you can summarize that. Then when we will meet again on Friday, then you can summarize that on the Saturday. But in between, you have Tuesday and Thursday. What you can do that you can attend the RRP session, continue to optimize your LinkedIn profile and all, build your connection, and get in touch with your HRs for the connection, for setting you up for how you can crack the interviews and all. And also explores, if you have time on Wednesday, you can spend few minutes, explore that. We have talked about definition of done. Just go and explore definition of done, and you may realize whatever we have interacted, you have much more loaded information on that. Because let me tell you one secret. Even if you are listening to the recording, are you ready for the secret, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Say, for example, we have one thing that we need to learn and we have heard it many times. So it could be anything. And we feel like we have to master that. We have to master that just within a day or 2 or 3, maximum at 7. So what should be the way to master that learning? So can you tell me one thing which you want to learn? Any one of you. So fastest person can just talk about that. Any one of you.
What is that? Can you please
Can you, Suchana, tell me one thing that you want to master, you want to learn? Even if you have, even if you might have heard that thing in the conversation, in our conversation, in the training, anywhere, one thing you want to learn.
like for in today's class or?
Anything, whatever comes in your mind, just tell me.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know more about the Jira.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Suchana. So the moment you have this thing hitting your mind that I want to learn Jira, what I'll do, and take a note of it. You have to learn Jira just as minimum day as possible, and you have to master that further. So now what you will do, you will go and search that at one place which is called as the search engine. And apart from Google, what is the search engine?
There's Bing.
No, it is YouTube. YouTube is the fastest growing search engine.
Yes.
Go to YouTube, or even in Google, even if you search learn Jira and take a note of it, you can
Atlassian.
Atlassian Jira. Yeah, Atlassian. This Jira is the product of Atlassian. Okay. So
Yeah, I know upon that one, but I can't do that.
wait. Let me complete what I'm telling and listen to it very closely. Okay. Whatever you want to learn, what you are going to do, type in the Google or in YouTube directly, learn the skill which you want to master, that name that within 10 minutes or 2 minutes or 10 days, whatever in how many days or how many minutes you want to master that. So if I were you, I will write learn Jira in 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I will go to the video section if I'm searching on Google, or I will go and if I am searching it on YouTube, I will get the list of the entire searches what YouTube will do for me about learning Jira in 10 minutes. Okay. And there you need to pick the shortest video. Okay. You need to pick the shortest video. Just open that and go through that. Okay. You will find that there is something missing in it or not. Say, for example, instead of 10 minutes, it gave you the video of 7 minutes. You will play that, but again, you will also play another video of 10 minutes. This gives you a complete overview of that, and you will be really awestruck after knowing that it is possible just in 10 minutes. Okay, so this is the best way to learn any skill. Now, sometimes what happens when you are searching for 10 minutes, you find a video of 30 minutes at the highest ranking. So that time you can skip that one way, second way, still you consume that, but don't consume it in one go. You come here, listen to it for 20 minutes, go back, just chill for 2 minutes or a minute, come back on this video, again replay it, and then again chill for 2 minutes or 1 minute, and go away from that video, again come back after 2 minutes. In third go, you will find you have consumed everything as is and you have mastered it. In case you can repeat it for 3 days, you will find that you are ready to teach that. Are you with me so far? And this is the science. There is a science behind it, how you start becoming the master on that subject or topic or that tool. Yeah, is it clear for you? Just try it, test it, and get in the feeling of awe that it is possible. All right. So yeah, Mike has some question. Yes, please.
Same way with to learn Monday.com also, right?
Same with Monday.com, same with anything. The
Okay.
best way to learn anything in 3 days and master it in 7 days is the search the video in this format and start consuming it. Okay.
Which one do you like the most, Jira or Monday.com?
So every comes with its own flavor. So I love both of them. So Jira over the cloud is the best, Monday.com is good, and even Trello is best. So everything is better. So sometimes people use every single tool for different purposes.
Have you said Trello? Trello.
Trello. Trello.
Trello.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So this could be the additional information for you, all of you today. So definitely you can practice it in the past. In the future. In future, we will be playing one of the tool as well. I think today's information is much more given to you. So thank you so much for giving your time. Practice it in the drawing and present it in the video. Okay. I'm looking forward to know much more how you have consumed it. Thank you so much. Have a super awesome evening and good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night.